Experiments in Noxus, Briar was born a being of endless hunger who lived only for her next bloody meal. But after many years under lock and key, she learned to control her hunger and choose when to fully unleash. Now she's free and learning who's friend and who's food. As a jungler, Briar wants to eat camps until she sees a tasty pick or counter gank on the menu. When it's time to feast, she dives teeth first into the fight and loves every second of it. Hope you came hungry, because we're serving up the facts about this insatiable jungler. Welcome to the Briar Champion Spotlight.
Free! Wait then! Sorry. Old habit. Hi!
Briar's passive is Crimson Curse. She doesn't have any base health regen, and her abilities cost current health. She can still heal with potions and whatnot, but what she really wants is blood. Her attacks and abilities apply a stacking bleed that heals her based on the damage dealt. The lower her health,
Happy
the
partner
hungrier
for
she
Sam
gets, and the
Fields'
greater her
birthday,
healing.
man.
This means
You are
Briar
looking
wants to
very
run
cute
into
today.
a fight, not away from it.
True.
Her increased healing at low health makes her tough to kill, so she
You
can
heard me
bait
say no
enemies into
further
becoming
links,
tasty treats.
right?
Food doesn't have to be blood? Huh.
Before sampling the rest of her abilities, let's take a look at the main course of Briar's kit, Blood Frenzy. Her W sheds the pillory that restrains her and sends her leaping into frenzy mode for several seconds. She self-taunts to the nearest meal in range, prioritizing enemy champions wherever possible. This means she loses control of her movement and attacks, but can still cast abilities, use summoner spells, and activate items.
I'll fight you and your kids!
While frenzied, she gains attack and move speed, and her attacks deal damage in an area. Briar can also recast W to empower her next attack
It's kind of like
with
the
snack
Forsen
attack.
build.
It deals extra damage based on the target's missing health, and heals her for a good chunk too. Briar is at her strongest when she's in Blood Frenzy, because she can clear camps faster and devour enemies. But she's also out of your control. Choose your timing and targets wisely so you don't bite off more than you can chew.
But I'm not full yet.
With Head Rush, Briar leaps to a target, stuns them, and shreds their armor so they're easier to chew. She can also target an ally to leap to their location. You can cast its ability while Briar is in frenzy mode to help her nom the right target, like a delicious ADC instead of a yucky tank. But be careful. If Briar targets a minion or monster with Q during her frenzy, she will no longer prioritize enemy champions and start eating whatever's closest. Briar's E is Chilling Scream. She stops in place and charges up, gaining damage reduction and restoring health during the channel. On release, she lets loose a blood-curdling scream that damages and slows enemies in its path. With a full charge, the scream knocks enemies back, stunning them if they hit a wall and dealing tons of damage. Briar can cast its ability while she's in frenzy mode to snap out of it. In fact, it's the only way to end Blood Frenzy early, so don't waste that cooldown. Use it to heal up and disengage after you've gotten your fill of fighting, or slam your next target into a wall for seconds.
We don't have to fight. You could just share your butt.
Nowhere is safe from Briar when she's hungry, and that's all the time. For her ult, Certain Death, Briar kicks a hemolith across the map. It travels over a huge range and marks the first enemy champ it hits as her prey. Then she flies to their location like a bat out of hell. On landing, she damages everything nearby and makes other enemies flee in terror. Then it's dinner time. Briar enters an...
Fairly similar to Fiddlestick ult. It gives the fear too.